My husband. Thanks. Shanati. Wow. You see, you hear so. Look at me and like to eating
Are you missing his cornbread?
no, but I said I want corn and then we didn't buy corn now. My love man.
Well, I got you.
Because when am I going? When am I going to? Actually, you know what? Rwanda will just pass there. Rwanda, how much take about it? Ah.
Yo, good people. It's your homie. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie Herb is on. And this is your first time tuning in to the HerbMan Show. Welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Please go somewhere, get situated. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. This is where we teach people simply how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we make sure that we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to wholeness and wellness. So this is a free information station. Y'all don't got to pay for nothing that you hear here today. All you simply got to do to pay attention is by double tapping that screen. Us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. That's how we do it. Now, all of this time we've been teaching you guys month in and month out. Let me make sure my YouTubers are straight in here. Month in and month out, we've been teaching you guys about the simplicity of learning how to heal thyself. Okay, and we're going to continue to keep busting you upside the head with this knowledge just for you to get it. Now, there's a lot of people, if you really look online today, there's a lot of people that know astrology, numerology, a lot of people that know tarot card readings, a lot of people that know Christianity and Judaism, and a lot of people that know Islam, and they really know religion. They really know the subject matter. Right? They really know their subject matter. But one thing that you guys must understand is that the realm that you're trying to be in must always keep room for a spiritual movement and freedom so that real God can really come in and not you, God, thinking that you can just continue to be able to address each and every person with a generic word, a generic understanding of something, okay? And so you'll see that a lot of us know one thing, but we don't know how to package it together, okay? But the tarot cards mean the same thing as the four elements, as the same thing as the yin and yang, as the same thing as the doshas, as the same thing as whatever you learning over there that you learned over here, the medicine wheel, the Tibetan medicine, Chinese medicine, all of this stuff, even the tarot cards, even though it's a lot of cards, they all mean something of the 12 zodiacs, which is then going to go down into the four elements, which is then going to continue to keep spitting out the same knowledge. But the bottom line is that you don't need a computer to do it, and you don't need cards to do it, and you don't need anything to really actually do this. But you got to know the system. Okay? A real tarot card reader don't need tarot cards. Okay? A real astrologer don't need astro.com for your time and your location. You understand me? Because again, we're dependent on machinery. And the machinery is, it's helpful, it's convenient, it dictates. But again, what if something happens? What if that location ain't right? What if that time, what if all that information there is not right? You know, don't know the sis, you don't know astrology. You know .com, but you don't know astrology. You know life path numbers, but you don't know numerology. See, life path number and numerology are two different things. You see what I'm trying to say? Because when you know numerology, then it just gonna flow because the numbers are all the same. Once you know 1 through 9, you know life path numbers and numerology. All you got to do is down pack and get what 1 through 9 mean. Everything's gonna bounce back in between one of those 9 digits, right? So that's really the understanding. So again, this is something that you don't need to have mechanisms for. You just need to understand. A lot of the herbalists, if you put them out in the forest, they don't know the herbs, because they know products, but they don't know nature. So you got to be very careful at who we want to be able to handle us when we're dealing in our time of need. I don't want no broke person trying to handle my finances. I don't give a damn if you broke and you're the financial advisor at Bank of America. If you're the financial advisor at Bank of America and I make more money than you, I don't want you to financially advise me. How you gonna make me rich? You ain't made yourself rich. Come on, somebody. How you gonna make me well if you ain't well? How you gonna make me whole if you ain't whole? How you gonna? So then, therefore, that severs that dependency on machine and man. And then now you start to be able to get into this other thing. There is something about each and every one of us at the sound of my voice that you are just overriding. You keep overlooking. Religion is supposed to highlight this again. This is what they call the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is this thing that allows you to be able to live in accountability in the now and in the future, because you got that Holy Spirit. It comforts you in the now, the present moment. The Spirit can extend itself for you to be able to know a little bit more about future, so you can be able to then start to discern and dictate even future events. So now you're always in comfortability. And so this Holy Spirit, again, it will extend you. Now, here's the thing. When man and machine gets to his limitations, what do you have in you that can extend you? Not just extend you into another realm, but also extend your mother life. Okay, so that's what we're trying to get you to be able to understand in your owner's manual. That's why this is so important, because we're teaching people how to get over into this thing. Now, if your mama caught the Holy Ghost when she was at church when you were little, because she went over here. If you seen a basketball player, Michael Jordan, throw their hands up, because he don't know how in the hell he hitting the shots either, because he done went over somewhere. Y'all call it a zone, when you zone out, when you zone in. But see, we got to teach you how to do it. Now, here's the thing. People are waiting until they die to make this transition, and we're trying to stop that. Okay? That's the main thing about what I do. We're trying to stop that. So you got to understand what you're dealing with in order to stop that. You have an ability to go over here when you daydream, when you get an epiphany, when you night dream, when you nightmare, when you sitting still and you just zone out for a minute. You don't know you driving. You don't know you don't tune everybody out. All that type of stuff. You're going over here. But for some reason, when somebody say you sick, when you broke, when you disgusted, when you isolated, you can't seem to understand how to get over here to bring back what you need. Okay. And so what we've understood is that there are things that can get you into this thing. So grounding oneself. Okay. Going outside and grounding oneself. We're going to teach y'all that today. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. But we're going to teach you guys today about this mechanism of how to do this in a one-time deal, of how to go outside and how to get to this particular space in your mind. Now, if you guys want to be more comfortable, you don't have to go outside. I would advise you to go outside, and it's going to be 2 ways you can do this. You can do this standing up, or you can do this lying down on the ground. You can do this barefooted. You need to do it barefoot if you're standing up. If you're going to be laying down on the ground, that's fine. But we don't need no rug up under you. We don't need nothing made out of rubbers or rubber byproducts or anything like that. So you want to have a connection between you and the soil. That's why you want to be barefooted but if you're not, then don't lay on the cover. Just lay back on the ground with your palms up to the sky. Okay. And then we're going to do certain little things. Now, if you can't stand up, then singing is going to be your thing. Humming is going to be your thing, okay? Humming and rubbing on the chest and the stomach, that's what we're going to do for you. But if you can stand up, then dancing is going to be our thing, accompanied with a little humming, okay? And we're just going to do little movements, right? So where we're actually, when we're doing these movements, every time I teach y'all this, when you to write what you're doing, whole brain cohesion, go ask any doctor. When I make you go left to right, all that is keeping the right and the left brain activated within the movement. So ain't nothing getting lost in the sauce. We operate in critical thinking along with creative and analytical, along with intuitive and everything. So everything is operating in a wholeness if I just go left or right. He ain't telling me I need to break dance. I ain't got to go boogie. I ain't got to do none of that. We just going left to right, barefooted outside in the nature. And I promise you, when you start doing this, then you start to laugh in the sun. You can start to do these things. All we're doing is promoting you to get into this state of bliss, of state of ecstasy, without having to die to do it. Now, if you know, if we can teach you that you don't have to die to listen to a heavenly consciousness, but you can dream of it, you can experience it, you can feel it in nature, around things that love you back the way that you want to, that make you feel that warmth the way that you want to, that make you feel belong the way that you need to, that makes you feel proud the way that you want to, that makes you feel relevant the way that you want to, that makes you feel like something cares for you the way that you is, then that means that you must know thyself a little better. And that's why the owner's manual is the most important thing on the planet today. Okay. And if you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM with the information that you need. So therefore, understanding this particular trance state, understanding that this bliss over here, this ecstasy over here is going to allow me to start seeing things in symbol. Right. So I start seeing symbols of things, then I can bring back those symbols and say, you know what? When I was out, I boo. And that's why people go to these shaman retreats and stuff like that, because they're using some natural things to get you an illegal entrance over here. That's what I call natural things that can get you an illegal entrance. We all know what they are: ayahuasca, Mary Jane, etc., etc. All right. So these are natural substances that can give you an illegal interest in. Well, why was this so important to our ancestors to have these types of herbs and to understand types of deaths? On when you talking about tribes, when you're talking about all cultures, y'all be looking at their feet, because their feet is that is beaten to the heartbeat of the nature. You looking at what he got on, and y'all like to look at the freaking costumes, and you like to look at the little Indian costume, but it ain't in the costume that you need to be worried about. It's in the feet of particular people, because they're beating to the heartbeat of nature, and they're getting the rhythm, and they're able to get in trance states by just moving their feet like that. So when you see the Indian brother, I know y'all see the Indian brother, he doing all this on the internet, but you don't understand what that is. Trance state. Trance state. When you're in trance state, you can do anything, things that you think are impossible. Again, when your mama got the Holy Ghost in church, you didn't think she could dance. You didn't think she could fall out and shake their head like everybody else. I remember when my mama caught it, almost knocked me out. She surprised me so much. She caught it. I almost fell out in the church. I got a big lip, bloody lip, everything. Cause she caught what you caught the Holy Ghost. That's what we used to call it back in the day. And folk, you to be scared to do that. So you get this outer body thing when you get into this rhythmic, and what it is that you're letting go. So when I'm telling you about man, okay? Man, I fest. What's the word for fest? The word for fest, fess up. Fess it up. Give it up. Release it. Okay, yes, fess it up, release it. Okay, man, I fast. Fest it up, release it. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going over here into the realm of dream state, of trance state, of bliss, of happiness, and we're producing medicine, and we're bringing back our medicine into our bodies, into our minds, into our communities, and we're being able to do this without having to do anything. So what do we just do? Okay, when you're looking at what we're doing, that was just death. to sickness. When you went over there, you came back and you killed sickness. So this is the death of the Lord self. This is the death of the Lord self that the Bible is teaching you about. When you go over there, you come back, and then it's death to poverty. Okay? It ain't never been about yourself doing nothing to you. It's been about these conscious states of limitations, these Saturns that come in our lives and try to provide structure and limitation and time limit over when we can and cannot do something. And it tries to dictate your fast. You got to fess up, right? And so what we're doing is we're killing things that will cause enmity or any disgust between me and the experience. Okay, so then I'm gonna kill something else about me. I'm gonna kill death to the isolation and the loneliness thoughts. Okay, because I am a part of 1 billion soul people on the planet. Okay, I'm a part of 8 billion souls on the planet. So there's no reason for me to ever allow anything to think that I'm lonely or delusional in a particular way. So then you start seeing that when I go over here to heaven, I come back with the keys of death. The keys of death are principles. They're not keys on your damn pocket. It said that when he went down to hell, he took the keys. Oh, y'all thought they were door keys. Tell me y'all didn't think that they were house keys. Tell me that y'all didn't think that boy went down there and got your car key. Tell me that y'all didn't think that man went down there and got the key to your business. You must know that he went down there and got the principles, keys, parables. These things are parables. You're going to dream in a parable. If you can't learn how to understand your dreams, how you gonna learn the Bible? These are decoded. They are symbols. Every person in the Bible is a principle. They're not a real person. That's why folks' principles don't die. People do. But when you come in and you stand for a principle, that principle can live forever. And that's when the word became flesh. That's when something manifested itself from a free form spirit into a material form body. Okay, so now you must understand that we're constantly going over to heaven, and we're constantly going down to hell, which is the Lord's self. We keep going down in here, killing things about this experience that will allow us, that will cause enmity, or that will cause a blockage, or that will cause me to not see the light. Okay? And so now we're talking about seeing the light. The first one was seeing symbols. My spirit will give symbols in my dream or in my trance state. I may see people, places, and things as symbols, but then the epiphany, the understanding of the dream, that's when it comes to seeing the light. And when you're seeing the light, those are your answers. Those are your solutions. Those are how we evolve. Okay? So you must understand these things. Keep going down and keep killing these things about yourself. And then you'll be doing exactly what you've read in those books. Okay? So that's what we're constantly doing. And the thing is that some of these things are stronghold from your birthday. And you guys do not understand that. But some of these things have been demonic friends of yours that's just gonna grow up as you grow up. You ever had bought a dog child, just grow up together? So you got certain tendencies that'll grow up with you. You don't know about them. You're a baby. Your parents don't know this information, and that's why this information is so important. And your baby is going through infantry. Okay, your baby is going through infantry with tendencies that you don't know about. Okay. Tendencies that you don't know about that came genetically, not just only biologically from both parents, and then both parents' and parents' parents, but then you have a genetic code that's coming cosmologically. Okay, so now is what the sun and the moon, the time the nigga was born and what day, and that's going to create something different too. So I got the man gonna create a little something different from what the woman was gonna create, and then you got nature that's gonna put his little ingredients in the person too. And you don't know these tendencies coming from nature, from the cosmos, from heaven, because you don't understand thyself. You come on here every day, and we're teaching you guys this. Okay. So then the baby go up from infantry, then it goes, okay, with these tendencies. So now these tendencies ain't just baby now. Now these tendencies, now these genetic codes have become adolescent. Okay. And then you still got the tendencies, and then you reach adulthood with these same tendencies. Okay. And then your last stage is elder statesman. Okay. You even go into elder statesman with these same tendencies. Now, how in the hell, if you don't know these tendencies, now can't you see how at every stage, as they develop and you develop, it becomes a war within. It becomes a friction. It becomes a force of restriction. It becomes a force of resistance to your life, to not know thyself, to not know that these are cradling you, that these are hampering you. And that's why you got the man I fess up about these tendencies. We know what you're doing in the dark. Some of y'all like to come on here and try to trick me, but I know what you're doing in the dark. And a lot of us do stuff in the dark, including myself, that you just don't want to tell nobody else. But at the end of the day, I don't need to know what you're doing in the dark. I just need to know that you are doing something in the dark. And then therefore you can start to work that out yourself. I don't give a damn what you're doing. Who cares if you're doing this and I'm doing that? We both doing the same fucking thing, something that we ain't got no business doing. So you work on that within yourself. Stop trying to come on here talking about you doing everything you're supposed to do and you still sick. No, you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be. Okay, so we're taking these tendencies, and some of these tendencies is the tendency to lie to yourself and to others. So you don't believe, you believe what you're saying, that you do everything, but that can be a tendency of yours to lie to yourself. Some of y'all got self-control issues. You came in with it. Addictive behaviors. You came in with it. Attachment issues. You came in with it. Some of us got these things. We came in with it. All it needed to do was meet the right opportunity. So tendency met the right opportunity. The right environmental stimuli came out in a particular situation, and then it either exposed this tendency or it grew this tendency. It birthed this tendency. Regardless, though, you got environmental stimuli that's going to come and start to test these tendencies in you. And again, if your body is the one that's running things right now, your lower self, the body's mind is running all of us, okay? Everybody's trying to get out. The consciousness is trying to be free, but it's trapped in the body. Religion is not being able to allow the consciousness to be free for some reason. I don't know. You do your research, but it was supposed to be a mechanism that can allow for this escape, this exodus. That's why that's in there, okay? But at the end of the day, for some reason, it's still being a blockage to all of us. So religion ain't doing it, but consciousness wants to run free. Consciousness wants to be free in this environmental stimuli, and you're going to keep on seeing videos, keep on seeing young people, keep on seeing rebellion, keep on seeing wars until you let this consciousness go free. Consciousness want to be free. It wants to show you that there's different levels to it. Down, you limit me when you just keep me within you. I can only do so much with the body. But if you free me, see, so you're trying to capitulate this freeness in your body. I'm saying let it be free. And then follow it instead of you trying to contain it. Follow the freeness and see where the world takes us. We'll evolve. Follow the freeness. You're itching to break out. You're itching to break out. You are itching to break out of the prison of what you thought relationships is. But all you know is folks that's in jail. You're marrying, you're dating in jail. So but you want to be free. You are waiting to break out of that jail of the 9 to 5. But everybody you know is in prison with you, clocking in and clocking out in the prison. But you want to be free. Consciousness is yearning to be free. Okay? And what we're trying to do is show you how to free yourself. And for it measly $50, you can get that manual of your own individual freeness in the palm of your own hands. No, you can't free nobody else with your owner's money, but you can free yourself. And that's what we're concerned about. Each individual at a time being able to have what they need for them. So it's your responsibility to make yourself well, to make yourself happy, to make yourself whole. But nobody's giving you that education about the way that you function. And so, if nothing else, I'm trying to heighten you to being mindful of yourself, mindful of the way you think, mindful of the things that tick you off of, and then try to add more of the things that you need in your life and keep a balance of things that you need versus just everything you want. Okay? Stop trying to just get everything you want and start to be okay with some stuff that you need. All right. And so instead of doing medications cannot produce the serotonin. Medications can't produce adrenaline, norepinephrine. Okay. Medicines, herbs can't do it. So therefore, there's always going to be an inorganic interest into the bloodstream in order to do this. But if you can get all of this just by changing your mindset and getting your consciousness into another level, all because you're able to now balance out your tendencies. I'm not telling you to eliminate nothing. Elimination is not my word, it's management. Okay, some people want you to eliminate every goddamn thing. Leave your old lady. Don't wear the old clothes. Don't buy no car. You shouldn't wear Nike. Don't eat meat. You shouldn't wear polyester. Don't wear cotton. Don't eat potatoes. You shouldn't eat apples. Don't eat grapes. They're trying to eliminate this, and you need to clean your colon, and you just need to eat watermelon and just eat grapes. And everybody want to eliminate. Eliminate ain't going to make nobody happy, and happiness is a part of healthiness. And ain't no goddamn body gonna be happy eating no one motherfucking thing in a world full of shit. So at the end of the day, let's keep it real. It's not about the elimination, it's about the management. It's about managing the waste. It's not just about wasting. Again, bliss is the key. So to be happy, to be healthy is to be happy. So the happiness is where I'm really trying to get you to see. And guess when you happy? When you're dancing and when you're singing and when you are in that little moments, pockets of moments that you have, even when you broke as hell, you done laugh. Even when your ass is sick as hell, you done laughed. And even when your ass is by yourself, you done danced. And it is those moments that nature wants you to have a little bit more of and a little bit more balance in. And there's something that is happening to you when you go through those things. And in this design, your human frame is designed to be more of those things and less of the other ones. I don't want you to clock in with me and work. I want you to clock in with me and dance with me. I don't want you to. We're supposed to be singing together, you guys. We're supposed to be dancing together. Okay, we're supposed to be relieving each other. We're supposed to be living in this cohesiveness and this bliss. But if you can't manage to do this within you, we can't manage to do this as a community of humanity. If we can't get to this particular settlement in our individual cells, we will never have the blueprint for the collective. And so therefore, everybody's trying to work on kumbaya and everybody, but you don't have the kumbaya within yourself. I'm saying do shit for yourself. Worry about what everybody else doing. I give a damn about Trump. Trump got a hump in his back just like me. He put on his pants just like me. And if I don't be careful, I die from the same shit he will. And so at the end of the day, I'm trying to be, Trump done came into my existence. So I learned from Trump. Trump can't learn from me, but I can learn from him and know how to circumvent and be better than him, even though you may think that he's better because of positioning. Well, you got to learn how to learn from these things that are coming into your paradigm to make you better at being able to see the things that you need to see. It's all about perspective. Can you decode the dream? Can you decode the dreams? Your dreams will come in you as parables. Can you decode them? Okay? And if you can decode them, then when we put you in these trance states of happiness, of love, of joy, peace, that's going to be how we manage the diseases. Because the disease is in the consciousness. And I done taught you guys day in and day out about how the brain creates the chemical activation, right? So we already know that if I can get you over here in this brain and we can get this started, we already know scientifically that it's producing medicine within that no medication or no herb can produce, and definitely not at the potency that you produce within yourself. And this medicine is all coming from joy, love, peace, and bliss. Okay, joy, love, peace, bliss. Okay, joy, love, peace, and bliss. Okay, some people will say that love is oxy. Some people are called peace, serotonin. Some people are called bliss, dopamine. What's my other one right here for joy? I'll put serotonin here too. Okay. Now, these right here mixed with a little bit of acetylcholine, adrenaline, GABA, and some other neurotransmitters. These are the medicine. I don't know if nobody else told y'all this, and ain't nobody probably ever gonna tell you this. That's why I'm glad I'm here on YouTube and TikTok. Let you guys know, just in case anything happened to me. They already trying to stop my TikTok video. They already done restricted my live. That's why it ain't number 65 folk on it. Okay. So at the end of the day, these are your medicines, y'all. Don't let these folk fool you. These are your medicines at the end of the day. Okay. And if you understand, okay, how to do this, you'll be good. I knew the other one is not joy, it's endorphins. Okay, endorphins, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine, adrenaline, GABA. These are the medicines. Okay, they are the medicines. Anybody got any questions thus far? Happy rising, good afternoon to you. What's going on, Monica? Great. All right, Boogie Decline. What's happening? Yes, sir. Anybody got any question thus far? You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. If you have a disease and you want to talk about it, you can come up. If you got an emotional illness, spiritual illness, mental illness, physical illness, you can put me in the chat. We'll bring you up as well. Okay. But it is all about getting over here and bringing back that thing. And again, we've been taught that death is the only exodus, but that's not true. The dream state, the trance state is our way in. They've been doing this for a long time. But what happens is you coming over there, you going over there, you coming back with all kind of other stuff. Focus on what it is we're going to see. Remember that light. When you get over here in this darkness, you got to have a flashlight. That flashlight is your pineal. That pineal gland is that third eye. That third eye is your intuition. That intuition ain't nothing but in biology, your prefrontal cortex. Okay? And all these other little areas that's in your particular body that they call the little pyramid right here in your forehead, which is why you see this little thing here showing you the eye on here, and we don't even attempt to do that. Okay, so everybody be showing me by symbology. The bottom line is, can you decode it? Do you know what green color is? Do you know why the Ford is blue? Do you know why McDonald's and Burger King got red and yellow in them? Because they are symbols. The colors are symbols, the letters are symbols, words are symbols, people are symbols, pictures of everything is symbol. You got to know how to decode it. So McDonald's said, yeah, because the lower chakra represents the red and the yellow, right? The red and the yellow represents what? Your root chakra. The yellow represents your solar plexus, your stomach. So McDonald's said, let me show you that your basic survival and getting you something to eat. Your basic survival and getting you something to eat. Red and yellow, McDonald's. Burger King do the same thing. Chick-fil-A show you that red. Who else? Arby's show you that red. Who else? JJ. I'm from the ATL now. So JJ show you that. JJ show you that red. Who else? Pretty much all of the restaurants got red in them. Why? Because it's the root. I like to join the membership. Okay, all you got to do is just DM us and we'll get you that information to the membership. You guys want to join the membership? It is $3.99 per month. Again, that is $3.99 per month. So for $4, you get access to me to be able to go through whatever it is that you would need for me to do, especially if you got your owner's manual. Okay, now if you're just looking for a health advocate and stuff like that, we can also provide that for you as well. Okay, $3.99 per month. DM us and we'll get you that information. All right. So now what you say? Almost all of them, bro. I mean, it don't really matter. Freddy's, Steak and Shake. Everybody got the red because they're going after your basic survival. But you don't see that. AT&T blue. AT&T communication. Well, where's communication? Up here. So these colors are blue. It's not rocket science. But you don't understand how to decode. And so even if we get you over here, until you really learn this, you'll miss it until you get it. Okay? You'll miss it until you get it. Yeah, Wendy's, everybody is playing on the code system. The code system. Do you ever wonder why your baby who don't even know how to talk, but they know you finna pass McDonald's? How is it that your baby don't know how to even say McDonald's yet? They 2, 3, but they know, Mama, I want to eat. Why every time you pass McDonald's, you want to eat? Because it can read colors. The baby can read colors. It might don't know your English, but the baby can read colors and know that those colors mean eat. So this is happening to you each and every day, and you need to understand how this can start to affect you on the inside. You don't know that this is happening around you, so therefore you become numb, and what's happening is you're running off your subconscious. You're running off what they call your default mode. Okay, there is a such thing as the default. Okay, there is a such thing as the default mode, DMN, default mode networking system. Your body can go into default mode. Now, you know, if you got a default on your phone, that's just the regular setting. That's when you ain't add no apps to it. No, you just in default mode, right? So this is what you don't want to be in all the time. And what happens is a lot of times when we done seen too much violence, when we done seen too much abuse, when we done been through too much, when we done seen too much hurt, then next thing you know, you start getting into default mode networking about these different subject matters. Go ask somebody about what I'm teaching you about, okay? I teach you something new every day, okay? You get into this default mode networking system when you see violence. Okay, so now you don't react the way that you should. So when we get here, it's hard to get you from sickness. When you in your default mode, you numb as done a motherfucker. You can't come out of the diagnosis got your ass fucked up. Okay, the diagnosis got you messed up. So you in default mode networking system. So I can't get you over here. Okay, then again, violence. Okay, your diagnosis, violent. Okay, your financial situation, your relationship situation that act like you just cannot find the right man or woman. Lord have mercy, these men and women out here, girl. Oh my goodness. All this stuff. You start getting into default mode networking system in it because these things are elusive to you. They've come to grow to make you numb. You go into your subconscious when he yelling at you. So you done tuned out. You're in default mode when he yelling now. You don't even listen to him hearing them. You in default mode when she talk, bro. You don't even listen to your old lady no. Any questions thus far? Put me up there. What you want, Keto? You put me up there. What you want, Keto? Welcome to the HerbMan show. Bring Keto up. All right, so this default mode networking, it needs to be be on mute, put on mute. That's what we would need. We would need a reduction in your default mode networking system in order to produce this medicine for you at the rate that we need. Now, along with a little bit of supplementation, we can give you all the stuff that you need. So in your owner's manual, you're getting the supplemental foods with the colors that you would need. You're getting the nature-based interventions, how much sun, how much water, how much green space, how much food you need, how much hydration you need, how much laughing, how much dancing, what is the moment, how do I do it, all this stuff. You're getting all of that information in your owner's manual, you guys, okay? And so with a birthday, we can start to now understand the tendencies from a spiritual standpoint and a physical standpoint, and then we together. Remember, we're not trying to eliminate, we're trying to manage, and the only way you're going to manage is by knowing thyself. Okay, and so when you this default mode networking, we got to reduce the amount of times we getting into this subtlety that we get tuned out, and we need to stay tuned in. So this is your tuning out. Somebody say tuning out in the chat. Default mode networking, your tune out. This is when you tune out. Okay, but what we need for you to do is we need for you to tune in. Okay, we need for you to tune in, and when you're tuning in, the way I need for you to do is I need to take you from beta all the way to theta. Okay, your default mode networking system gives you the ability to tune out. That's why you're doing about death and violence and poverty, because you feel like you can't. And so again, you hear this stuff and you see this stuff repetitiously in your environmental stimuli day in and day out, and you feel like you can't do nothing about it. You're waking up every day going to a job you hate, but you feel like you got to do it. And so therefore, because you're stuck to a system of thinking, a program. And so therefore, just think of a life of a person who's been here in this paradigm, who woken up for 40 or 50 or 60 years of their life and has experienced some shit that they did not want to for 50 to 60 years, and you think that this is what this is made for? You think that this paradigm called life is made for you to struggle and strain and because you can't see what's around you. So involved into the systematic cohesiveness of the government and the law that you can't be free. The law you're up under, the government that you're up under, and the system of capitalism is the prison of the consciousness. Remember that consciousness wants to be free. You can't buy it. It's priceless. And plenty of us are dying with it trapped in our bodies. Instead, we need to be free in our minds. Go ahead, Keto. I forgot you were dying. Now, you may be glad you did something on your mic. I forgot you were dying. Now, go ahead. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you again. You be having me rolling. I want to say that, number one, you be having me crack laughing at the truth, and I love that.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know how to add.
I would like to
I got to add my little country on it. You know that.
Oh yeah.
So
I want to ask you about my eyesight. I've been having issues with my eyesight.
Okay.
And would like to have insight on my eyesight, how to support health.
Not only is that is a macrocosm of your life in the direction you go in livelihood, but then also it's starting to show you about how well you can see from your eyesight for real, on your real eyes. So vision loss is vision loss. You understand that? Tito?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Somewhere
I just don't understand what to do to support better.
Well, so the thing is that you got to get rid of the delusion. You got to get rid of the delusion. I can tell you off the rip, based on this right here, that you have a propensity to feel isolated, feel like a loner. You have a propensity to feel like nobody understands, and that loneliness feeling sometimes. Sometimes you can do it to yourself. Sometimes there have been people that have been in your life that does understand you and that will understand you, but you still think that don't nobody do it, and you keep forcing that isolation and that stuff like that, right? So we got to get over this. I just got to be by this loner mind of yours, keto. There are people on your level, and even if they ain't, there are people that can take care of you even on other levels. Because sometimes when you so high, sometimes you need a ground. So don't be mad because that joker come in there and he want to be the flow because you want somebody up in the sky with you. No, sometimes you need a ground to land on. You can fly by yourself, but what you gonna land on? So you got to look at people sometimes and see the relevance for them in your life. And you know what I'm talking about, girl. But that's what's been going on. And what I'm saying is because of that, that's starting to allow you to not be able to physically see. Okay. So now what do we do? So that's the pituitary gland. So we know the pituitary gland is going to be here. So that's sodium and potassium. So now we already know that you watch your sodium and potassium. Now the reason why sodium and potassium is good right here because a lot of times when you're dealing with eyesight, go to the doctor and let them check your aldosterone levels. Okay, aldosterone. Aldosterone has a lot to do with your sodium and potassium, because it's telling the body when to release potassium and keep sodium and vice versa. Also, it has a lot to do with, I don't know if you've experienced this, but have you been experiencing any kind of uh, retaining in water?
Not lately, no.
Okay, not lately. Okay.
I used to.
Okay, so you used to do that retaining the water. So that retaining the water back in the day could have been from that aldosterone levels, okay? Then guess what? When that happens, that'll start messing with that pituitary gland, and a lot of people can start getting pituitary tumors that can lead to blindness and stuff like that. Now, I don't think yours is going to go into that particular way, but you want to be making sure that you getting the right sodium and potassium, keep this right balance within your life. Then on top of that, because this is going to be what? A water. So that means that you need some fire, and I want you to laugh a little bit more. Sodium and potassium, laughing a little bit more, getting out in the sunlight. I want you to get out in the sunlight between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. or between, in the wintertime, 4 to 6 p.m. in the summertime, 6 p.m. to 8. Get out there during those times. If you could, that whole 2 hour, and just get your laugh on. Get out in the sun more, allow it to beam more into your eyes. Okay, beta carotenes are going to be very good for you. So obviously we know all of the yellows and the oranges will help you, as well as the blues and the purples. The blues and the purples are going to help you in the nerve area. Okay, and the carotenes are going to help you as far as the vitamins for the eye. So now you're talking about vision versus the how the computer said hardware versus software, right? So the hardware is going to be the neurons, right? So you got the blues and purple in your work. The software, okay, and so the beta carotenes and stuff like that can help that. Herb called Eye Bright. You can go and Google Eye Bright. You can start doing eye washes with Eye Bright every morning. It doesn't burn. It ain't gonna do nothing. You just make your little tea, let it cool down. Do your eye wash with it. Not an eye drop, an eye wash. You do your eye wash with it, and you'll start seeing your vision get clearer and clearer and clearer. As long as you start to do this other stuff as well, the spiritual stuff as well.
Is it bad to wear glasses to help?
Yes. If you wear glasses, then it's going to deteriorate. Then your eyes are going to get used to that. So that's the thing. The body gets used to everything. So when your eyes get used to the glasses, then let's say we start doing the Eye Bright eye washes. So every time you put back on the glasses, then you're not allowing the body to get back to its original form. It's going to always mold itself to the prescription. I'm gonna wash your eyes, then you're gonna put on the glasses, gonna go back to the prescription eye, then you're gonna wash it, you're gonna keep going back to the prescription eye. So therefore, you got to be able to wear your original eyes.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, you gotta be able to do. So just get that Eye Bright, get that beta carotene, then you get those, you know what I'm saying? All your oranges and all your carrots and all your raspberry. All your blueberries and grapes and blackberries and all these different raspberries is good too if you want to go that route. Purple cabbage, purple onions, eggplant. Just go color heavy, and you'll start seeing some reciprocity fairly quick. especially if you add that eye bright and the spiritual stuff. All right.
Okay, for sure. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. No problem. Peace, peace.
And peace to your family too.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir. So understanding that these are the medicines, right? So these are the medicines. These are the medicines. I know a lot of y'all don't even know about aldosterone and stuff like that, you guys. But again, y'all go do your research. Aldosterone has been linked to a lot of eye issues. Okay, been linked to a lot of eye issues. Your aldosterone. Let me see if I got a receipt with that real quick. You guys keep tapping. You guys, I'll keep talking. Let me show y'all about this doggone stuff here. Okay, you got me there. Then let me go bam. Okay, then when you get me there, then let me go here bam. And then when you get me there, let me go here. Bam. And when you get me there, let me go here. Bam. Yes, sir. Man, we can help you with anything, you guys. There's nothing too hard for nature. For nature, man. Okay? Once you understand the human frame and the human design, you're well on your way to feeling the best you ever felt, doing the best you ever done. And once you get that sensation, you want everybody to get it. At least that's me. I want everybody to touch and taste. To feel the fabric of our life. The feel of cotton. The fabric of our life. Shout out to my homeboy Aaron Neville. All right. Let's see if we can show it over here, man. Okay. Aldosterone. I don't even know if it'll show. So it say mineral corticoids. Okay, at the top. Mineral corticoids. Okay. Regulates the blood pressure. Okay. It regulates the blood pressure by what? Let's see if we can get it over here. They ain't gonna let me show y'all, man. Will it push over? It won't push over there, will it? But anyway, it regulates the blood pressure, okay? By dealing with your sodium and your water retention, all right? This is the thing that's telling the kidneys to push out or not, or hold it in or keep it in or whatever, okay? So this thing is linked to, guess what? I just told you guys, this is your adrenal glands, okay? And it's also linked up into your pituitary gland, okay? So a lot of times, this can be a reason for eyesight along with your sign. If you are a Sagittarius or a Gemini, you could be prone to having bad vision. But that don't mean that you got to just be a Gemini or a Sagittarius. You could be in a Gemini or a Sagittarius state of being and still get this. So remember, we all got 4 elements. A lot of people say, well, yeah, you telling me the tendencies, but I don't necessarily got that. Yeah, because you can get something from another element. You got 4 elements in you. Okay, I'm giving you all of the stuff that is highlighted within you, but it don't mean that you look. Some of us got the same, we from all over the place, but instead of you getting the accident, this joker might get a snake bite. It still was probably gonna happen, but in a different way. We just know what we need to do to deal with it. If it's a snake bite, I know what to deal with it. If it's a car wreck, I know what to deal with it. And that's all I need to know is how to identify the problem or the solution so that I can give you the polarity, because polarity is the recipe. Okay? Polarity is the recipe. Somebody said tuned out. Who tuned out, Queen? Tell them, hey, look, they don't need to be in DMN, baby. You got to come on in. I need you to be able to come on in. But again, it's the same thing on social media. We go into default mode when we're flipping the screen. When you flipping the screen, man, you get so desensitized and so tuned out. It has to be something ridiculous to catch your eye. That's what the scrolling does. The scroll puts you in a more repetitive base thing, and so therefore you're just looking for something that is going to create some kind of dopamine effect to catch your eye. It needs to be eye popping, otherwise you're going to keep scrolling. So therefore you see how folks is eating egregious, they're fighting egregious, they're doing egregious things to catch your attention within this 1 to 3 second window. It's mind games 101, marketing to the people, understanding the human frame and the human design. Some people that's in marketing class know you better than biology know you. Some people that are behind these marketing companies, they know the human mind better than psychologists and people who are writing these books, because they know how to get your attention. And getting your attention is the basis, fundamental basis of every single thing on the planet. You see what I'm saying? Your attention. And if I got your attention, are you tuned out or are you tuned in? When I got your attention, are you tuned out or are you tuned in? When I got your attention, are you tuned out or are you tuned in? When I got your attention, you tuned in. So that's for we're reducing the DMN. Okay? You need the reduction of the DMN in order to be able to heal yourself appropriately. Don't get all flabbergasted because of these big ass words. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you know this or not. It just matters if you know thyself. Okay, so all we're really trying to get you to understand is these principles in which this system fundamentally comes up under to cover your whole basis of who you are. So if you ever had a second guess, if you ever had a second thought, if you ever thought that somebody else's health assessment is better than this, or somebody else diagnosis is better than this, then what we're trying to show you is that there's nothing greater than getting your diagnosis from nature. Not from astro.com. I can come on here right now, go to astro.com, and I can ask you guys all of your birthday, your birth time, your birth location. But hell, you can do that. What you paying me for? That shit free. Astro.com shit is free. So I'm interpreting the machine of astrology, but I'm not interpreting astrology. Okay? Without astro.com, what would you know about me if I told you my birthday? Without the time, without the location, can you still be as effective? Without your tarot cards, can you still speak life into me, my sisters? Without your numerology and your number machines and your life path number little machines y'all got, and without your bioresonance machines, and without your machines, and without your this and your that, and without Mountain Rose, and without Star West Botanicals, and without Herb Co, and without Monterey Herbs, and without the little herbalist down the street that you know, how would you know what herbs is if you didn't have those herb shops? Because you go in the woods and still find you the right tea. It's time out to be lying about this shit. You know what I mean? Either you're going to be able to know it, and then be able to show it from a gifting in you. I don't need no computer. I don't need no none of this. Because we didn't have it. We're going back, and we're going to have a soulful moment, and we're retrieving the skills of this ancient technology. The ancient technology is not a thing. It's a person. We are ancient technology, creating modern technology. We are ancient technology, creating modern technology. And modern technology is different from me. Ancient technology is people. Modern technology is machine. So stop saying that modern technology ain't the same thing as ancient technology. Modern technology is a machine to do it. Ancient technology is a person to do it. I'm saying let's do a direct split between the two. Let's heal yourself through science and through spirit, instead of just trying to go science, because science got limitations. And we use something that has limitlessness in our time of limitation, and that's our spirit side. And that's where your homeboy man come in at. If you guys are interested in your owners manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information there. All right, I know they're trying to suppress this information, you guys, but if you guys got questions, concerns, please feel free to holler back at me, okay? All right, they're trying to suppress this video. I know I might have said some stuff in the beginning about marijuana, ayahuasca. They don't want you to talk about that, so that's why they did it. But it's all good. All I was trying to tell you guys that you don't have to go nowhere to smoke nothing. You ain't got to go do nothing crazy. You ain't got to go over there, go to nobody crazy house or go to nobody crazy woods and go on out crazy with some other crazy folk. You don't have to do that. Okay, but what you do got to do is be able to find your community, find the environment that is going to encourage the health that you desire in your life. It is impossible for a lot of you guys to be healthy based on your environment. It's impossible for some of y'all to break that addiction based on your environment. It's impossible for some of you guys to break this thing that you got going on financially based on the people that's around you, based on your environment. You don't have an environment that is encouraging growth of your finances. You don't have an environment that is encouraging growth of your health. You don't have an environment that is encouraging this lifestyle, this highest consciousness that you're seeking on the internet every day. But then you go into a fussing ass girlfriend or fussing ass boyfriend, fussing ass mama and daddy, fussing ass children. And then you think that you higher consciousness going back into that environment. That's not true, because you don't have anything to incubate it to make it grow. So you're attached to, you better have a long distance conscious relationships with people that you don't know via social media, because you don't have it in your surroundings. And it is that everyday seeding, that everyday watering, that everyday sunlight on the plant that makes the plant grow. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. You keep tapping, we'll keep on talking. Anybody got any questions, any concerns, please feel free. Put some me in the chat and we will get you what you need. All right. So therefore, when you're looking at fasting up, okay, man, I fast up. Okay. So this fasting, right? This fasting. That's what we got to look at. This fasting. All right. What is the fasting? Man, I fast. Festation. Y'all call it a festation, right? I call it festing. All right. So festing is another word for feasting. Okay. Festing is another word for feasting. So man, I'm feasting. Okay. So man, I feast on what? On things coming in life. Man, I am merry making. That's what they call merry making, right? I'm feasting, or I'm merry making. That means that I'm in bliss. Man, I fast. Man, I feast on life. I feast on the environmental stimuli. I feast on the opportunities that come to life. So when I'm telling you that the force of creation ain't nothing but your ability to basically I'm gonna say know and understand and discern opportunity when it comes, and be able to get that illumination about that situation, then that ain't no different than what we've been teaching you guys about. That you got to know that your suffering is an opportunity for you to get that which you're seeking. So yes, you're sick, but now you are primed, ready. When you sick, you primed and ready to be healed. Wow. If you came in rich, then you needed to be poor. Here, you already experienced rich. So when you poor, you are primed and ready and geared to be rich. You've already experienced one element, but nature wants you to experience the other. But you got to be able to have the polarity and the mindset to do this. When you're alone, you are primed and ready for a relationship. You can't have a relationship in a relationship. You can't belong to this group and belong to that group too, because you're going to be pulled both ways. That's what's happening in relationships. You're trying to be in two because you never met somebody single. Be single and meet somebody. I mean, like for real single. Don't be separated. Don't be married. Don't be still hanging on to your baby daddy, talking to him at night, still fucking around with him every time he come through. But you still claim to be single because you ain't married. You ain't never been single. Some of y'all ain't never been single. Y'all got somebody every 5 minutes. It just might not be the person you want. So the bottom line is you're always meeting people with people. You don't have room for the right man of all the men that's still in your life. You don't have room for the right things of all the wrong things of clouding up your house. You don't have room for the money that you're looking for because you got all this bullshit in where the money should be. So you got to clean house and clean your closet, right? In order for you to feast You got to have room for the feast. So what we're trying to tell you guys to do is manifestation ain't nothing but understanding opportunity, a timeless moment, a kairos time, and be able to do this in this time. Then where when you are happy as hell, when you're happy and you know it, clap your goddamn hands and get this healing transferred over here. So there's no reason for mama them to be dancing in church like they doing and walk out still with high blood pressure. The reason why mama them can still walk out because church is doing this. That's what y'all don't realize. I'm still a minister. I'm just ministering different. Okay? The new church, this is it. Really get to the nitty-gritty of how to reach spirituality, not religiosity. So mama them is in church doing the dances. Remember, they dancing and now they praising. So you stay in a trance state. So why mama them coming from church still hurt, fucked up? Good question. Thank you for asking. Okay? God damn, y'all on here just watching. Keep tapping out, keep talking, you guys. Keep tapping out, keep talking. I should already be at 50K. I'm gonna stop right now until we get to 50K. Because y'all don't deserve this shit. Y'all don't deserve to see people going in and out of the spirit on live social media. Without no books, without no written, without no research, without no machine, no computer. You don't deserve to really see this way. For free. But we at a point now where it's emergency. So we got to show you how to tap in and tap out and all this type of stuff. And if you claim to know something, then know it because you were chosen to know it. Don't know it because you went and learned it. Know it because it learned you. It was a thing that learned you. It was so, man, look here. You ever seen a 2-year-old baby know how to play the drum? He ain't never been to drum class, never been. You know why? Because he's the drummer. He's the drummer. You can learn how to be in the drum band, though. Okay, you can learn how to be in the drum line. But baby boy was born with drumline in his spirit. It's a difference. It's levels to it. Okay. So what we're trying to get you to understand is how you crossing over. So now church is got the right atmosphere. I mean, got the prime ability, not atmosphere. I'm gonna say that church sectors and all the synagogues and wherever you go, they got the prime ability to show you how to do this. But you know what? Because they don't know biology and they don't understand cosmology and they're not trying to link up science and spirit together, is that they done did the wrong goddamn celebration, man, I feast celebration. They done did the wrong celebration for you to you're not feasting in there. They feasting on you. And you know why? All because of a backwards ass design of that program. If I brought you in the church with nothing but this type of music in the background, y'all listen to that? Y'all can hear that? I can't turn it up too loud. This should be church with this type of music. Quietness. This type of music or something like this subtle, giving you an ability to cry, touch your neighbor. So this is what we're going to be hugging. Our dance is slow, rhythmic. Our breathing is slow, rhythmic. And the church is just promoting this big ass conglomerate of knowing how to slow me down instead of speed me up. If you put on this big ass show, but you did it to slow the people down, don't speed them up, don't speed up the heart rate. It ain't about they're doing the fast dancing and this, that, and no. because your body can't heal with stress. Okay? And some of this stuff is putting more stress internally on the body. So therefore, it's not a relieving thing. It's like going on vacation nowadays. Y'all on vacation, so therefore vacation ain't relieving because there's always shit to do on the vacation. You could have stayed at home to do stuff. So you're never really getting a relaxed state. You're never really getting slowed down. So even our vacations, they are not slowed down. They're planned out. So when do you get the slow down? You take a day off of work, you want to do everything on that day off. You think about your Sunday, you want to do everything. I got to cut grass. I got to go to hair salon, go to get my nail done. Got to go to church in the morning. Then we got to go to grocery shopping. Then I got to cook Sunday dinner. So then you back at work Monday. You 7 days thinking and rolling and going and living life until you ain't got enough juice to repair yourself no more. And when you ain't got enough juice to repair yourself no more, you really think that medications and herbs is going to give them to you. God, boy, y'all need to stop, man, and stop making these folk rich. You can heal your goddamn self. You got to change your life, okay? Church should slow me down, not speed me up. If they taught the same thing, but they knew how to do more of this when it comes to the music and it comes to the orchestration and when it comes to the music and the songs and the minister of music and all of this, you got to slow this thing down. People need to release, and sometimes everybody can break dance out there like that, but you can provide this subtleness. And some people ain't gonna get it because everybody ain't gonna goddamn break dance, but some people will get it in the quietness, and some people will get it when they cry, and some people will get it and some people get mix slow and moving side to side and just swing. You know, that's why Martin Luther King them, you didn't see them dancing in church with Martin Luther King them. They did just like this and hold each other's hands and just left to right. We shall overcome. Because there's more power in this sway than it is dancing. Okay? There's more power in swaying together than dancing as an individual. There is more power in your connectiveness together in an easy sway than it is in your complexity in the way that you move and dance in church as an individual. And when church starts to learn how to be able to get everybody to dance together and what is the power in that again, and how to be able to get everybody to hug together and to touch one another and do all this stuff together and stop worrying about the best singer and the best dancer and the best this and the best that, and start looking at the least of us like Craig and them and Rico and them and Nene and them and Mama Nene and Mama did them. They don't go to church, but they still need to understand that we shall overcome one day. And that's why when you come to my retreat, we're going to dance together, we're going to sing together, we're going to cry together, and we're going to laugh together. And when you do those things, you slow down the situation. So you're reducing the default mode. And now that person can stay in the present moment. They don't tune out. They don't blank out. They're there in the moment because it's now becoming a feeling. And you know, you can't never ignore a feeling. You can ignore some mental shit, some thoughts. But when the feeling hits you, you can't ignore it. It's a movement. It's an energy that is undeniable. And so guess what? When you're in this particular type of thing, your emotions that slow down is causing a feeling. And that feeling is causing you to think of something being real in your life. And for some of us who done forgot about God, who don't understand, who ain't going to go to church and cry, who ain't going to go to church and dance, who ain't going to go to church and do this and do that, then you got to be able to get it in their life, and they're still dancing somewhere in the club, they're still cheering somewhere at the game, and you got to be able to teach them people that same offering is, even if you don't go to church to do it, if you go to the ball game to do it, it is in that offering. That's what I need in your time of despair. That's what I need in your time of healing. That's what I'm gonna need in your time of lack. And if you've been doing it at the game, if you'll do it at the church, you goddamn well better do it in your bedroom at night when you need it the most. When you need it the most. Not when the Falcons needed them, no, but when you needed the most. Not when your pastor needed the praise the most, but when you needed the most. I want you to open up your mouth just as loud for yourself and give yourself a round of applause. Laugh from your goddamn self instead of Dave Chappelle. I want you to be able to cry from your goddamn self instead of human hurt. You got to have your boyfriend hurt you to cry. Or can you have tears of joy? We got to be able to get into these things ourselves. And we can help you do this with your honest man. If you need that, please DM us. We'll get you the information that you need. Any other questions? So it's just this in the music. If you flip this and you begin to start looking at the human anatomy in this way, and you begin to start adding these things within the construct of what church is today, I promise you, you'll start getting more people saved, more people going back, more people doing everything, because guess what? They got the feeling. And when they got the feeling, that is the thing that can start the relationship again between them and God. It ain't about you and the pastor. It's about them and God. It ain't about if you come back to this motherfucker to see me no more. If I can teach you one day, you go out and become the best you, I did my job. I don't want 30 years of students. I want one day to be able, or however, the little moment that I need in order to create the teacher in you. Okay? Because if you get it, you got it, you can go on about your life. It don't take that long to get this thing. Remember, it's an epiphany. It's a light bulb go off. It's a lightning strike. I got it now. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? All right. Thank you for the 50K, you guys. So now I'm not going to be long with you. We're going to go ahead and turn it out with this now. So, man, I feast. I feast on the opportunities in which come into my life. My suffering is opportunities. So therefore, anytime I'm in lack, anytime I'm suffering, I know that that's an opportunity for me to, man, I feast, man, I fast. Okay. And so therefore, if I think I'm supposed to be making 100K and I'm only making $3,000, then guess what, man, I will feast on what? Doing the things that are necessary to grow my income from 3,000 to that 100K. There's some things that is missing. There's some things that I may not be knowing. There's some information that may be lost in translation that I need to recuperate in order for me to know. Do I know enough to get to 100K? Do I have a skill to get me to 100K? Then that's the first thing, to understand that part, the reality of it. If I can say, hell yeah, I got something that should be making me that, it just think, now I understand that this is an unfair opportunity because I actually got what it takes to be here. It's just that I'm missing something. I'm being held back. Okay, so cool. So now we can work with you. Somebody that should be here but just ain't here, we can work with you. But what if you trying to be somewhere you ain't got no business being? What if you somewhere you ain't got no business being? So we got to make sure that you know where you are, and that's why the owner's manual was so important, so we can locate you in this cycle of life, in this life path. We can locate you this global positioning system that we call the owner's manual, all from your little measly birthday. Once we locate you, then we understand where the life lesson that you're enduring. Once we get the life lesson, then we can take into account what you're going through as an individual. So now we know where you at, then we know where you should be. Then we're asking you where you want to be, where you think you should be. Then we understand the disconnect between where your ass really is versus where you at in him, because you don't have the God conscious. Well, the God conscious ain't nothing but a 360-degree eagle's eye perspective of life itself. You call it topography. I call it the eagle's eye vantage point. It's how your perspective is on life. Everybody is watching in life in the maze. Well, you can't see outside of the wall in front of you. So the motherfucker that's gonna get out the fastest got to understand the quickest way out of a maze. The quickest way out of a maze ain't trying to figure this bitch out. You're gonna be here a little longer than me. The quickest way out of a maze is up. And so if I raise my consciousness, now I got the wings, I got the mind that can get me out of this lower consciousness into my higher consciousness. And now if I go up out the maze, if I allow HerbMan to help me raise my consciousness so that I can be able to utilize this in the upper room, because the safest place is in the most high. The safest place is on the mountain. The safest place is when you've been to the mountaintop. The safest place when the waves of life is coming is when you're on the mountain, baby. Now when you're in the valley during a high tide. So you must understand that when you get flooded with things like health issues and wealth issues and financial issues and relationship issues, the highest place, the safest place during the flood of your life is at your highest point. And some of you guys are drowning in the floods of life. because you don't know how to swim with the currents, because you don't have the eagle's eye vantage point. Nobody's showed you but I'm telling you that this is what they teaching you in the church. You're supposed to have this. They teaching you this in the church. I don't know why you can't see it, but they are teaching you in the church. But it's because of the way they teaching it that the feelings is not there. It's more mental. Church went from heart to mind. Okay, from heart to mind. It got to go back to heart. You got to go back to heart. You got to go back to feelings. And the way you do that is when you get out of the book. You need to get the leader. The leader can't always be educated from a study standpoint. The leader got to be educated from a spiritual standpoint. You got to be an elder spiritually. You got to come in there. Look, if you done read the Bible like I have, man, and I ain't touched the Bible in 20 years, but y'all see we still know scriptures. The reason why is because it's in you, you don't have to continuously repeat it. It's in you. All you got to do now is just open your mouth. All you got to do now is just open your mouth. You're supposed to be, remember, this ain't religious, so you don't need a book or a machine. I don't need astro.com to know your birthday and what it means. I don't need to have a life path numerology calculator to know your life and what it means, because I know this shit. And I know it in the way that the ancestors do, to where you kill all of that extra fluff. Okay? You kill all that extra fluff. All right? Anybody else? Would you be able to explain the Ankh? Yes. What you want to know about the Ankh? What you want to know about the Ankh? It's a life symbol. That's all. It's a life symbol representing masculine and feminine principles, just like the cross, except for the cross represents only the masculine principle. So the Ankh is just one of those things that's got the cross and the feminine principle. So you got the circle and you got the one. The circle and the one. So if you see the circle and the one, you see that the binary code is what? 0 and 1. That's binary. Your binary code, that means computers only really go off of 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 is what? This is the feminine principle. This is the masculine principle. And in other words, if you look at this, you guys, this is the Ankh. Okay? You see that? That's my Ankh backwards. Okay? That's my Ankh backwards. Okay? That's all this is. Feminine and masculine principles. Okay, Jane Doe? So all we're teaching here is a oneness. There are people that came into the paradigm teaching oneness way before me. The owner's manual is oneness. Okay? Own. Owner's manual. Own the man. You own yourself again. You own yourself when you know thyself. Okay? The owner's manual is teaching you a oneness. That's what this is about. Okay? So way before Jesus came in teaching about one God, which is monotheism, then you also had a person called Akhenaten teaching about one God, monotheism, teaching about a oneness. Teaching about a oneness, okay? So these two people came in the paradigm teaching a oneness. One came before the other. Akhenaten came before Jesus, right? So this oneness teaching ain't nothing new. It's always been out there. And I think that it's probably the oldest sacred information that has been kind of like spewing through the communities of hallways of humanity since the beginning of time. How do we reach the oneness? Even the Asian people should understand the journey of the oneness. Okay, the Spanish people started to understand the journey of the oneness. Okay, even some of these African tribes understand the journey of the oneness. Okay, and then even in our Christian theology, even though it's not broken down to you so you can see it physically like this, they are still teaching you the art of the oneness. This sacred information of how to become one has always been missing pieces to ancient culture before and after we come and go. How do we reach a oneness? And that's what hopefully the owner's manual will help you do in your time of need. Yes. Anybody else? Do 6/3/1999. Yeah, you can get your owner's manual, man. You get your owner's manual, we'll do it for you. For that little funky measly $50, you can get your owner's manual, get all your information. because you won't get all your information up here today. So you want to be able to do it when you get all your information. I think some people think that what I do here is all you get for $50. Hell no. Hell no. I would never give paying people free shit and free people paying shit. So therefore, when people get this shit for free, they'll never get what you paid for. Okay, so there's always going to be more when you pay, right? But I can't put all of that information because, again, we're covering so many different things and I ain't got that much space. All right. But if you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us. We'll get you that information that you need. Okay. So now that's how you do this thing, man. Man, I fast, man, I feast on the opportunity. So if you're suffering this, that, and the third, allow this to be the opportunity for you. And if you are willing to take this opportunity, let us show you how to become one. Let us show you how to come balanced within yourself. We can do this just with a birthday. It's better than your blood type, better than your blood sample, better than your hair sample, stool sample, urine sample, better than me trying to get that little bump off a little live culture off your bump. It's better than all those things because it's powered by ancient technology and it's powered by the relationship between man and land. This is powered by my gifting of how I know and understand nature. And you can't beat that. And the more holistic practitioners we get that know how to talk to land and how to get some answers for man out of land, then those are going to be the people who are going to propel us forward. Whether it's in farming, whether it's in creating, whether it's in food, whether it's in whatever we need. When we're trying to live long, medicine is going to be the key, and food is medicine. And whoever knows the land knows the man. I love you guys, man. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Yes, sir. Yeah, they tried to block me today, y'all. So we'll come back tomorrow. Same back.